for the record, and no one would really care, I'm Chuck Fink. I am a storyteller, I teach classes, and I produce shows. But tonight is a really special night, and I want to welcome you to a very, very, very special place, the Story Parlor. The Story Parlor was founded by Erin Halligan. Claire, thank you. I had it all up here, but she and her husband moved from Austin about 4 or 5 years ago, and they created the Story Parlor out of their love for the written and spoken word. And Lion is the only staff member here today, and I just want to remind you one thing. They also purchased the Battery Park Book Exchange downtown. So if you really want to support these wonderful people, I encourage you to go up belly to the bar, and you can enjoy a wide variety of drinks. I see from here, hemp infusion. Whoa. Far out, Lion. All right. I am so honored to present to you just 4 fabulous women. One in particular is especially fabulous. You'll find that out at the end of the show. But I want to start by introducing to you our first teller. I think it's very incumbent upon me not to waste a lot of time. Now let me hear the booze. Okay. I have feelings too. Okay, our very first teller is a dear, dear friend of mine. Her name is Donna Catton-Johnson. And let me tell you a little bit about Donna. Donna, not Donna. That guy in the orange back there is Donna. Donna retired from teaching elementary school art and is also an award-winning actor and director. So, she is also vice president of events at the Asheville Storytelling Circle. Membership, that's what I said, vice president of membership. But she's just a wonderful and charming lady. So without further ado, Donna Catton-Johnson.
Thank you, Chuck. Hi. I have a ticklegram for Chuck Fink. Hey, Chuck, baby. How you doing? You remember me, your old girlfriend, Puna May? I have come here to celebrate a happy unbirthday for you. And I brought you some balloons, but I have to find out if you're qualified to hold them or not. They're virgin balloons. I'm sorry, Chuck. Hold them anyway. Did I startle you? If so, join the club. I have startled hundreds of people in very like manner over a period of over 10 years. Now, to give you the whole effect, I want you to picture the costume. Picture me in a London Fog style, dirty, ragged trench coat that looks like somebody ran over it with a car, because we did, to distress it for the character. And it's wrapped with some nondescript piece of fabric at the waist. I've got on an ugly beige old wig, looks like it needs washing, and a hooded like winter scarf over it, and cat-eye glasses, mismatched winter gloves with the fingertips missing, and some of those see-through galoshes that women used to pull over their shoes, only under them I have also mismatched knee socks. And that and other wild get-ups are the kind of thing I did as a job for over a decade. How did I get into this position? I went back to college. After 7 years of having dropped out as a rising junior because I was an English major and I did not want to be an English teacher. So after I dropped out, I paid off some student loans. I went traveling for a while. Then I lived with a boyfriend for what I call my vegetarian earth mama years, and did some stints in restaurants and as a bartender. And then I discovered theater. A friend of mine called up and he said, Donna, I want you to come out and audition for a play over at Coastal Carolina College. It wasn't university back then. It was just a branch of USC Columbia, where I had originally gone to school. And he said, I want you to come. We're doing a little summer play. And I said, well, okay, what kind of role? He says, Donna, I don't care. You're a natural. Come to the audition. Okay. So I went to the audition, and I got the lead in this little summer play. And the bug had bitten big time. So I started going to the Upstage Company club meetings, which was the little theater group at Coastal at the time. And at one of the meetings, one of my friends who knew that I sew, he nominated me for costume chairman. What? Okay. And from then on, I was doing all the costumes. I was putting together costumes or making costumes for each and every show. And I was also acting in some of them. So I thought, I'm gonna just sign up for classes. So I did. When I graduated 2.5 years later, it was with an interdisciplinary BA. Back then, it was kind of a junk degree. But then, a few years later, it was a buzzword, lucky me. But it was interdisciplinary BA in theater and visual arts, because I did costumes, I took painting, fiber arts, textiles, all of that. When I graduated, Coastal had just built the great big state-of-the-art wheelwright auditorium. It was beautiful. And they needed someone to set up the costume shop. They actually needed somebody to do costumes because they hadn't hired someone with a master's degree yet. And I got elected. So I set up the costume shop and I did costumes for about 1.5 years. Excuse me. When that job began to fade, a friend of mine from the theater company came to me and she said, Donna, she said, I'm working for a woman downtown who I'm performing for her, and she needs other performers. And I said, well, Julie, what's the company? And she said, Ticklegram, we do singing telegrams. I went, Ticklegram? She goes, oh, no, it's all clean, it's all clean. The boss says they're G-rated. Okay, so I went to see Sindra Marshall, the owner of the company, and she hired me. She was excited because I not only had training in acting and clowning and pantomime, but I also could design, make, and repair costumes for that little company. And at first, my few jobs were like going to a child's birthday party as a clown. Hi, and I would paint faces, easy for me. And that was a lot of fun, but it wasn't very long before she had me doing every single female singing telegram character we had. There was Nurse Goodbody. Hello, darling. Have you had your morning constitutional today? There was silly Nursey Nancy. Hi, honey. Let me take your pulse. Oh, I've got it racing just like I do to all the boys. There was Melinda Mournful, all dressed in black. She wailed and moaned. I was just at a funeral, but this is far more tragic. He's just gone over the hill at the big 4-0. There was the big, fat, fuzzy white love bunny. She wore an open-faced, long-eared headdress, and we painted our whiskers on. And she sang, "You're nobody till somebody loves you. Hop, hop, hop." You're nobody. You get it. There was the belly dancer, Natasha. Hello, darling. I have come here to shimmy for you. There was the nerd. Hey, hon, I'm your perfectly matched computer date. Whew, you can imagine her costume. And then there was the mad tickler. The mad tickler was all dolled up in fringe and fishnets, a top hat, and a feather boa. And she was the hardest one for me to get used to. And I'll tell you why. Everybody else was all disguised. There were glasses and wigs and crazy costumes. But the mad tickler was me, all dolled up, and I was supposed to be glamorous. Me? Glamorous? It was hard for me until I got the voice. Hiya, big boy. How you doing tonight? It's really nice to see you. And after that, I had no problem because she wasn't just me. Now, I also, after a while, Sindra started hiring me for office hours. Now, that was a pretty fun job as well because we would take orders over the phone for these singing telegrams. And what we would do is get some dirt on the recipient. Now, what does he do for a living? Does he have any pets or kids? Does he have any favorite activities or hobbies? How about catchphrases? How about embarrassing moments? And Sindra would write the poems. I helped her after a while. Would write a poem all about the fella, and we would read it to him from this feathered scroll that we carried with us. That's where the tickling part came in. And the recipient was always like, wow, how does she know so much about me? It was so much fun. Also, we did balloon deliveries. Now, you have never lived until you have taken a bunch of Mylar and rubber balloons, anchored them into the back of your car somewhere, and driven down the road with them floating in your rearview mirror. And then you're in the middle of traffic and one of them pops! Oh! Scares the daylights out of you. Valentine's Day was a bear. Lots of telegrams, lots of deliveries. Not every ticklegram went well. I recall the one where I was nurse, good body, baggy white nurse's costume with an authentic Navy nurse's woolen cape over it. And I came into this courtyard in the middle of a Myrtle Beach, end of the Myrtle Beach hotel, the north end. And there was a pool deck and a large table with heavy hors d'oeuvres and a really big group of people. Now, I walked in there to wish happy birthday to Angus, who was burly and big and red-haired. Angus, wow. And I walked in, I announced my ticklegram, and hello, darling, and he was laughing, and the crowd was excited, and everything was great. And I went to present him the balloons, and the man picked me up bodily, walked over to the pool, and into the pool with me in his arms. Splash! Oh, the cape was dragging me down. He wouldn't let go of me, and I was pushing him away. Stop. Two of his friends had to lean into the pool and grab me and rescue me out of there. I never forgot that one. Whew. Another time, I'm sent to an insurance office as Nursey Nancy. She had a little short white costume and white lacy tights and a little Red Cross nicest cap up here, with a red cross and a red feather boa. And I came in for a guy's birthday and pulled out all the stops. I did everything I was supposed to do. I had tried to have so much fun. I sat on his lap the whole schmear. And in the crowd, I hear a chuckle or two, and I see a smile or maybe two, and I'm thinking, oh dear. Back at the office, Sandra, I think I bombed. It was awful. Nobody laughed. It was so weird. I don't think they liked me. I don't know what to tell you. Donna, it's okay. They can't all go well. If they call, I'll talk to them. Okay. 10 minutes later, the phone rings. That was the funniest thing we've ever seen. She was such a hoot. Insurance people. Go figure. Oh, and there were times, too, when, all this driving around, delivering things, doing the singing telegrams, I'd suddenly need gas. Oh, gosh, I'm low on gas. So it didn't matter. Didn't matter what I was wearing. I remember times I'd get out of the car in my belly dancing costume. I'm talking the skirts and the harem pants and the little beautiful bra top, and the veils and the long black wig I wore. And I'd be pumping gas. And people would walk by me like, and I'd go, singing telegrams, and they'd go, oh. Fun. But my favorite singing ticklegram of all, came after I owned the business. Sandra had wanted to sell and move on, so I bought it from her. And so I did just about everything except the mail singing telegrams. And thank God I had a really wonderful guy to do those. And one day, this fella calls, and I spend 45 minutes on the phone with this man. He wants a singing telegram for his girlfriend. And he's very persnickety about it, very picky. I describe all the characters to him. He's lukewarm on all of them. Even the love bunny, which I thought for his girlfriend, he wants something really sweet. So, no. So I'm thinking, and I pull out these two seasonal characters that I hadn't told him about because it was Christmas time, and he chooses the Christmas elf, which is me, dressed up in red and green with little pointy toe shoes, And then we go through what he wants me to do on the telegram. No kazoo, no loud, raucous announcement. That's different. Just something gentle and sweet. Okay. No mean jokes, no sarcasm. All of it needs to be sweet and loving and kind because he's going to pop the question that night. No pressure. So we craft this singing telegram. And the night comes, and I go to the restaurant. And they take me up to the mezzanine, lit only by the giant Christmas tree. And over in the corner are he and his girlfriend in a cozy little table. I go up, I make my gentle announcement. I pull out every idea I have that he has given me about her. I read the poem, the whole thing. And I'm as darling as I can possibly try to be. And then I sing, have yourself a merry little Christmas, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. He goes down on one knee, proposes. She says, yes! Score! Ticklegram lasted about a little over 10 years. And those kind of businesses, they get popular for a while and then they kind of fade, die down. And that was okay, because by that time I had decided to go back to college again and get a certificate to teach. And I taught elementary art for 25 years. But when I look back at those years and some of the fun and some of the craziness, I realize how particularly I fit that niche called ticklegram. I could act, I could do mime, I could do clowning, I could sing, I could do a little dancing, and also I could make and design and repair costumes. And not only that, but even my 2 years of English major made me qualified to write poems, and explain characters in a flowery way to people on the phone. So Sindra needed a performer, and she got that and much more. And I needed a performance job, and I got that and much more. And these days, decades later, those characters still come up to me once in a while. So, our bag lady, Puna May, she wishes all y'all the best, and she hopes that you never take yourself too seriously. Thank you.
Hold on. How does this work? Donna Catton-Johnson, everybody. Before I introduce our next very special